Greetings on this Christmas Eve. Now, if you're watching this, I say everything's done and you're just having a rest before the panic of tomorrow. So sit and watch another bit of my top 100 bands with a nice glass of something. So we're going to do from number 75 to 51 today. And tomorrow we'll do the second part, and then on Boxing Day we'll do the last part. Now, I didn't say this yesterday, but how did I come across this list? How did I put it together? There's a lot of bands you think, well, he likes them, but he hasn't put them in the list so far. Well, it all goes on what I listen to the most. And there's one way I could find that out, is actually going into my iTunes library, because it tells you what I listen to the most, and etc, etc. So this is how this sort of lifts. So bands like Dream Theater don't get a mention on here because I don't listen to them as much, and it's also how many albums. With Dream Theater, it's 1 or 2 albums, but all these artists on here I listen to, always listening to their stuff. So we're going to go from number 75 today. So coming in at number 75, from Birmingham, he was in a great rock band, the granddaddy of metal, the national treasure, that is Ozzy Osbourne. You know, got sacked from Black Sabbath, went on to have a very successful solo career, went back with Black Sabbath. Not the wellest of people these days, but he's still out there. He's doing his podcast with his family and he's having a lot of fun with that. But let's concentrate on Ozzy as the artist. We all start with The Blizzard of Oz, one of the great rock albums, Mr. Crowley, Crazy Train, Suicide Solution, done by the great Randy Rhoads. Then Bark at the Moon era with Jake E. Lee, good songs, Shot in the Dark, and went all through that glammy metal stage. And then he came back strong with a track called No More Tears, which is one of my favourite tracks. It's got Bob Daisley back on it, and it's got Zakk Wylde at that guitar solo. It's amazing. Okay, number 74. We've got a prog band now, and a very underrated prog band that when they come out were in the shadow of another neo-prog band, and the band is IQ. A great band. Martin Orford was the sort of foundation. You got Mike Holmes, Peter Nichols, Tim Issau. Other people have been in here. Paul Mendel on vocals. John Jowett, of course. He was in the band for 20 years. Great albums, especially those first 3 albums. Tales from the Lush Attic, the Wake, No Man's Zone. Absolutely stunning band. I still like listening today, and their last album was pretty good as well. Okay, number 73, band from Ireland. Now this is totally off the thing for me, and it's Clannad. What a band! Kieran Moyer and Paul Brennan, with Padre Duggan and Noel Duggan. And this is where Enya started as well. Just fantastic music. Obviously, they're really known for Harry's Game, the theme from Harry's Game, but their albums are wonderful. Moyer is a fantastic singer. Okay, number 72. Yesterday we mentioned the band that he started in, the Yardbirds. And it is the great slow hand himself, Eric Clapton. Just his solo stuff. I love Eric Clapton, a great blues guitar player. Some of my favourite albums are the Ocean Blue Boulevard, the Slow Hand, Money and Cigarettes and Journeyman. Derek and the Dominoes as well, which is a separate thing, but I'm going to mention that. That's a great album. I do love that. Now, this will shock people. My number 71 are the Fab Four. I like the Beatles, but I'm not... they're not the bee's knees, and I'm not particularly a fan of their Here and Now thing. I think that was a bit naff. You know, I'm more into your Sergeant Pepper's and Abbey Road and Revolver. That's my sort of favourite Beatles. You know, love that era of the Beatles. So that's why it's so low down. Coming in number 70. Great American band. I saw this band once, but I've seen the original singer as well. We're talking about Van Halen. Especially them first two albums. Some great stuff off 1984. But I saw them when Sammy was in the band. I think I saw them, I think it was on the For Carnal Knowledge tour. I love that period. Some great, and Eddie Van Halen, what a guitarist. Eruption just blows your head. I remember the first time I heard that. Number 69, a bit of a proggy band again. Curved Air. There's some people been through this band. It's got the wonderful Sonia Christina. Darryl Ray's been in the band. The wonderful Francis Monkman. Eddie Jobson from UK. And the Police drummer. Yes, people forget that Stuart Copeland was in Curved Air. Some great, great songs. You know, Valdi, written by Darryl Ray, is superb. And Francis did go on and do that with Sky. Okay, coming in number 68. A great British band who I first saw as a support band. They supported Heart. And they're Thunder. I have seen Thunder about 8 times. And Danny Bowles, great singer. Harry James on Luke Morley, the left-handed genius. Such great songs all through their career. Backstreet Symphony, Dirty Love, and the more recent stuff, you know, Better Man and Turn Out the Lights. Just a great band, and I just love this British band. Number 67 is another British band, our sort of answer to Symphony X and Dream Theater. Threshold, sort of the brain of Carl Groom and Richard West, guitarist and keyboard player. The unique thing about this band, they've had 3 singers and they've sang on all their albums at some stage. I mean, at the moment we've got Glyn Morgan, the great Johan James on drums, Steve Anderson on the guitar, bass guitar. But Damon Wilson's been in the band, and the one and only Mac was a legend. Some great albums, Clone, A Critical Mass, and the brilliant Legend of the Shires are 3 of my favourite albums by Threshold. Okay, coming in at number 6, another guy that went and did a solo career from a great band, which we'll talk about at a later date, and it's the one and only Mr. Phil Collins, who again is not in the best of health. But his solo stuff, I do like his solo stuff. You know, he started off with like In the Air Tonight, which is absolutely brilliant. His great version of You Can't Hurry Love. Then we had Sussudio, he was in Buster. Then we had Another Day in Paradise, did some Tarzan songs. It's just an all-round great guy, great drummer, great person, full stop. Okay, number 65. An Anglo-German, well, they went down as Anglo-German because they were formed in Germany, and it's the brilliant Nectar. Lots of people in the band, but the people that I connected with was Royce Albrighton, Alan Taft Freeman, Derek Moore, and Ron Howden. Some great albums, especially them from 71 to 73. We had Journey of the Centre of the Eye, A Tab in the Ocean, Sounds Like This, and Remember the Future. Just 4 quality prog albums that need lots of love. And we do give them a lot of love on this channel. Okay, coming in at number 64 is a British band that are they're very British, put it this way. They're like Rolling Stones but with a bit heavier, and that's the Choir Boys. I've seen them. I met Spike. But unfortunately, they're one of the band. I like all their stuff, but the only album that really did anything for them was a little bit of What You Fancy, tracks like 7 O'Clock, Whipping Boy. But I do like their music. They do a lot of bluesy numbers. They're a terrific band. Okay, then coming in number 63, got an offshoot of one of the Beatles now, and this is Paul McCartney, who, with Denny Lane and his wife, had Wings. Great band. So many good albums. Band on the Run, just a classic. London Town with a little bit of luck, and then Venus and Mars is another great album. And then they had that fantastic Wings Over America live album, which is absolutely terrific. Okay, number 62. We've sort of mentioned people who've been in this band, and we're talking about another British prog band, Arena. Now, the three sort of stable people and the people that are really behind this is Clive Nolan, Mick Pointer and John Mitchell. Now, I've now got Damien Wilson singing with them, who of course was in who was he in Threshold. John Jalwitt, who was in IQ, played with these as well. IQ, always get that wrong way around. And Paul Manzi. Great albums, everyone's brilliant. The Unquiet Sky is a good one, but their latest album, the new one with Damien, The Theory of Molecular Inheritance, is a superb album. A great band. I love listening to these. And Mick Pointer, I'm glad he went on and did something good, because he is a good drummer, but I don't think he would fit in for what Marillion wanted to do. But he's doing a sterling job as drummer of Arena. Okay, coming in number 61, we've got one of Mastermind Dave's favourite bands, Nightwish, the brainchild of Thomas Hopperlane. Had some great singers, three male singers. They've got Floor Jansen at the moment, but they had Tarja to start with, Annette Olsen, and the brilliant Marco Hultala on bass. Great songs all through their history. Nemo, Storytime, The Poet and the Pit, Pendulum. We can go to their version of Phantom of the Opera, which was great, from, of course, Tara and Marco. Absolutely brilliant band, great live, great symphonic metal. Can't go wrong. Coming in at number 60, we have the Mayo Brothers. Ron and Russell. Sparks. Great songs. This town ain't big enough for the both of us. Kimono in My House. That Sucker's a great album. The number one song in heaven. Beat the Clock. Number one song in the Trials for the Human Race. And the latest album, The Girl Is Crying in the Latte, is absolutely a brilliant album. One of my favourites of this year, which you'll find out where it sits on Friday, I think, is the day. What can I say? Just a great pop rock band. Okay, number 59. The King of Shock Rock. Vincent Furnier, or we know him as his alter ego, Mr. Alice Cooper. Doesn't matter if it's Alice Cooper, the band, or the solo artist. What great albums. $1 Billion Babies, Killer, School's Out, from the band time. Then Welcome to My Nightmare, Brutal Planet, and then his new album Road are just great albums. Seen him twice, absolutely brilliant on stage. Fine performance, and I do love Alice Cooper. Always have, and always will. Okay, number 58. For not the second time the singer's appeared in this list, and it's Paul Rodgers and his Band Free. Andy Fraser, Simon Kirke, and the wonderful Paul Kossoff. What can you say? So many great tracks. Okay, Wishing Well, All Right Now, just classics. But My Brother Jake, The Hunter, just great. Their albums are great. It's just great playing. Just a fantastic band. Okay, number 57. We've already mentioned one person in this band. Well, that's Francis Monkman, and this is Sky. The rest of the band: John Williams, Herbie Flowers, Kevin Peake and Tristan Fry. And when Francis left, we had Steve Gray. What can you say about this band? That they are prog classical geniuses. The great Herbie Flowers has played on everybody's album and been involved in so many projects, including, of course, War of the Worlds. You've got things like Where Opposites Meet. You've got their version of Toccata, Vivaldi, the Curved Air track, the Void of the Valkyries they've done, Troika. They've covered it all. A great band. I saw them once and I just loved them. Coming number 56, we've got a Dutch band, a Dutch prog band from the 70s, led by Thies van Leer. We are talking, of course, Focus. Great band, great albums, great songs that are just in your brain all the time. Hocus Pocus Sylvia. And just some other great songs from that band. Okay, coming number 55. Third time this guy is in my list. And the band with Eric Clapton, Jack Bruce and the brilliant Ginger Baker, Cream. Well, great songs. Sunshine of Your Love, Badge, their version of Crossroads. Just a great band. Their live stuff was always fantastic. Some of it went on and on back in the day, but the album I really love, that live album when they had their reunion, was absolutely killer. Okay, coming in number 54, band from Boston in the USA, featuring Steven Tyler, Joe Perry, Tom Hamilton, Joey Kramer and Brad Wilford. It's, of course, Aerosmith, a band I have seen twice. I saw them at Donington and I saw them at the NEC. Great songs, great albums. Songs: Dream On, Sweet Emotion, Walk This Way, Toys in the Attic, it's a great album. Get Your Wings, Draw the Nines, Rocks, Nights in Ruts. It's just, I love that period. I'm not so keen on the wishy-washy stuff they do now. I mean, I love Permanent Vacation and the Pump album, because that's the tour I saw them on. But yeah, I like their music. It's just good old-fashioned rocky type stuff. Okay, nearly done this one. Number 53, one of my favourite drummers of all time, the one and only Mr. Cozy Powell. Won't be the first time we talk about Cozy in this list, but this is his solo stuff. Great albums: Octopus is a Bond film. Tilt, Dance with the Devil, that great single. Sunset, The Blister, phenomenal stuff. Had the people that played on his albums: Jeff Beck, of course, Gary Moore, Don Airey. They've all played, all mates. So that's why it's on my list. Okay, number 52. We've mentioned the band Clannad, and one of them left, and that was Enya. Fantastic. I love Enya. From Orinoco Flow to the Book of Days. They're all wonderful, and she's such a great singer. And I had to have her in my list. But the last one for today is someone that will be featured in another show. But again, he left a big band and went solo. And that's Derek Dick. But we know him and love him as Fish. What can I say? Some great albums from his first to his last. All brilliant. That debut album, Vigil. Brilliant album. And that's Master, whatever it's called. His last album. Seen him a few times, of course. He was such an entertainer, and I still like listening to Fish. He went through that lean period with some really weak albums, but he came back strong towards the end of his recording career. His voice is a little bit there, but no one cared because it was Fish, and the banter between the songs has always been brilliant. So there we go. that's part 2. Tomorrow we go to 50 to 26. It's Christmas Day tomorrow. So I will see you all tomorrow. After you've opened all your presents and probably just sitting down watching this because you want to chill out. Bye for now.